Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. This is Stephanie Mosca, Managing Editor at Technology Marketing Corporation, and welcome to today's webinar called Complete Turnkey IP PBX Solutions. Transitioning from a legacy phone system to an all-IP system can require a complete overhaul of your telephony infrastructure. However, depending on the phone system that you already have in place, this extensive process may not be the best approach for your business. Instead, with the right equipment, you can leverage your existing phone system while at the same time migrating to a converged IP infrastructure at your own pace. Today's presentation will explore the highlights of turnkey IP PBX solutions by utilizing patent SmartNode gateways and the next generation 3CX phone system. Our speakers today include Ramon Felder, President and CEO of Patent In-Elf Networks AG, Tyler DeLynn, Product Manager at Patent Electronics, and Brian Conway, North American Channel Manager for 3CX. With more than 15 years in the telecom industry, Ramon provides leadership and strategic direction to Patent's European headquarters and converged IP product management team. Ramon played an instrumental role in the development and marketing of Patent's flagship brand SmartNode line of VoIP gateway, router, and SBC products. Tyler serves as product manager for Patent's SmartNode Voice over IP products, supporting the North America, South America, and Central Europe regions. He also manages all marketing activity for Patent's SmartNode brand. And lastly, with over 20 years of telecom experience, having held positions in sales management and marketing, Brian is responsible for overseeing channel marketing growth and managing sales for 3CX's North American territory. Now, before we begin, just a quick program note. Our presenters will answer questions during a Q&A session that will follow today's presentation. I encourage you to submit your questions to us using the interface on your PC at any time, either during the Q&A or as they arise during the presentation. We'll get to as many of your questions as we can, and any that we are unable to get to will be archived, and I know our presenters will be happy to answer them offline following today's event. The entire event will also be archived, and each of you will be receiving information on how to access the webinar tomorrow, so you can follow up on anything you may have missed or pass that information on to your colleagues. Well, now that we have all of the basics out of the way, let's get started. Tyler?
Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Thanks to all of you, first of all, for taking the time from your day to join us for the Patent 3CX joint webinar highlighting complete turnkey IP PBX solutions. We promise this will be worth your time. We've got some good content for all of you guys. And be sure to stick around till the conclusion of this webinar, as we're going to be offering an exclusive webinar discount for all Patent 3CX bundles solutions with a promotion code to all that have attended this webinar. First, we're going to have Brian Connolly outline the 3CX phone system. If you guys aren't familiar with it, he'll give you a quick overview and the benefits of a 3CX phone system. Then I will come back on and give you a quick overview of the Patent SmartNode product line. And then I'll bring on Ramon Felder, and he'll show you the SmartNode with 3CX solutions and where he'll help you identify opportunities where these solutions will benefit you and your customers. And then he'll also talk about the 3CX SmartNode configuration tool, where it actually auto-provisions the SmartNode for you. And then I will come back on towards the end and give you a really, really clear and easy step-by-step process by which you can buy or sell this 3CX and Patent SmartNode bundle. We really have two goals today. For one, we want to paint a clear picture of the advantages of a software-based IP PBX like 3CX phone system. And then most importantly, the purpose of this webinar is to teach you guys how you can actually integrate your existing telephony infrastructure using a SmartNode gateway with your 3CX phone system. So maybe you're connecting your 3CX phone system to the PSTN for calls. Maybe you're just doing that for survivability reasons in case your network goes down. Maybe you want to connect legacy phone equipment to your IP PBX. All of these possible solutions and strategies, Ramon Felder will talk about to us in depth. So I guess I'll go ahead and pass it off to Brian Connolly, the 3CX's North American Channel Manager, and he'll give you a quick overview of 3CX phone system. Brian?
Okay, thank you, Tyler, and thank you for everyone joining us this afternoon. With 3CX, there's just so much for me to talk to you all about, but I'll have to be brief and short. So bear with me, and I'm going to start off by just talking about open and tested. 3CX has been in the United States market now for 5 years. We started in 2005 in Europe. Our corporate offices are in Cyprus, our CEO, our software development group. We have a large presence in Cyprus, and our footprint actually began. We started selling software license keys way back toward the end of 2006. And then we immigrated to the United States in May of 2007, so this month is actually our 5-year anniversary here in the United States market. So we feel when we say open, we don't mean open source, we mean open standards. Our goal is to provide a software-based IP PBX that runs on Windows that's going to support the customer or the partner's decision on what hardware to purchase, meaning whatever their SIP phone, whatever SIP phone they like, whether it be a Polycom or Cisco, a Yealink, a Grandstream, or Astra, whatever it may be, and perhaps the Panasonics that are coming up, we want the partner or the customer to have their choice on what hardware regarding SIP phone and also platform, what kind of server or desktop machine to install 3CX upon. So we're open standards, but not open source. It's our code. We support it fully. 3CX, we are a software development company. We've been a Microsoft partner for a long time. And so all of the 3CX phone system code is developed and maintained by 3CX. We run on Microsoft Windows. We felt back in about early 2000s that right now, it seemed like Asterisk was gaining a lot of momentum and Linux boxes, and we felt that if we would have something that would run on a Microsoft platform, that we would have a competitive advantage. We feel that the market tells us that 8 out of 10 businesses run Microsoft for their company platform and infrastructure, so we felt that providing a Windows solution for IP PBX would be a good thing for us to do. So we run on Windows only, and we're not Linux. We're strictly running on Windows. We support just about all the platforms that Microsoft has to offer. If someone has a small PBX, they want to run it on a Windows 7 professional machine, fine. If they want to run us even on a Windows XP Service Pack 3 machine, that's fine. The only thing we ask, though, is you don't put us on Vista Home. It'll run on Vista Home, but we don't recommend anything with Vista Home. But as you get into a little larger PBXs, we recommend a server-grade OS. So I would say probably the majority of our installations today are going on Windows Server 2008 R2. We're seeing just a lot of our software now in a virtual environment. We support VMware and hypervisor. And the next bullet point is that we are completely software-based. The 3CX phone system is exactly that. It's strictly software. We have no intentions of getting into hardware. There are so many good manufacturing companies there, and Patton's been a long-time partner for us. In fact, it would be kind of a miss on my part if I didn't say I've been with 3CX for 4 years now, and Patton has just been an absolutely outstanding partner for us. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Patton. Their gateways are rock solid, and they're very easy to install, and we'll talk a bit more about that as we go forward. But 3CX is strictly software. Again, we do not manufacture an appliance, and we have no need, or I should say no desire to get into the hardware business whatsoever. One of the things that we tout is that we save costs, and our software license keys are very inexpensive, as we'll get into later on during this presentation. But again, what we try to represent, or at least stress, is that you can install 3CX on your existing infrastructure. A lot of our partners will go to their customers, and their customers are running Windows. There are multiple machines, perhaps multiple servers, maybe in a virtual machine environment, et cetera, et cetera. Why not just install 3CX as another application that's running on those servers? Machines are powerful and getting more and more powerful every day. Why not install 3CX as another application on your existing infrastructure? So we like to say right up front, we can save costs on hardware and installing our software on what you already have. Okay, I'm going to move to the next slide. We feel that our software is very easy to install. When we came to market back in 2006, we felt to get some traction in the marketplace, we needed a free edition. We needed the ability for someone to go to our website and download 3CX software and see for themselves how easy our software is to install. So we do have a free edition. and it's been very successful for us as far as helping us get the branding of 3CX in the market. And what we do in the free edition is we turn off many of the telephone system features. A lot of the PBX features are turned off, but you can install 3CX. Typically, I'll hear from a customer that installed our software in anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. Typically, I'll hear from a customer that has downloaded our software and they're up and running on a fully working PBX in under an hour. We also say that our phone system is easy to administer. Our user interface is written in .NET. We try to be as much as we can like other Microsoft applications that are in the market. And so our administration, our 3CX management console is actually a .NET application. It's very easy to administer the 3CX phone system. And it's very easy to do moves, adds, and changes. And you can, as you go through our 3CX management console, you would see that for yourself. And I would encourage you all that if you're on the call today and you haven't had a chance to download our free edition, just please go ahead and download it. And we'd love for you to test drive our software. We also believe that we have easy phone management. Some of the manufacturers today have what's called a universal plug-and-play feature. Basically, you would insert the IP phone into the network connection. It sends a simulcast message to the 3CX server. You would just assign an extension, and then the phone will pull down its configuration file and reboot and auto-provision itself. But we actually have a node inside the 3CX management console that will show you all the phones that are registered to the system, IP addresses, Mac, software, the firmware release on the phones, etc. Very easy to manage your phones that are connected to 3CX phone system. Now, on this next slide, enterprise features. We are really excited about our latest releases, version 11. As I mentioned, I started with 3CX 4 years ago, and we had just come out with version 6. Version 3 was our first commercial license keys, and now we've rolled out version 11. We honestly feel that with version 11, it's really going to take us to the next level in what we would call more enterprise-wide applications, meaning multiple PBXs installed in multiple countries all over the world. And with version 11, I think we've arrived there. Now, another important capability that we want to stress is the employee mobility. Again, this is just our opinion, if you will, or our belief, but we feel that in the future, more and more people are going to want to communicate on one device. And we don't know what that device will be. It could be the smartphone. It could be something else. But what 3CX wants to be positioned is to be able to provide your extension on that device. So you'll see that in this picture, in this slide, we have our 3CX phone for Windows, or excuse me, 3CX phone for iPhone, and 3CX phone for Android. We've had a soft phone client for Windows now for quite some time. It's very popular. A lot of folks will download, hundreds of thousands of our soft phone for Windows. Again, it's free. It has BLF capability. It has video conference capability. And it's just a very popular soft phone for Windows. And again, it's free. And so what we've taken is that 3CX phone for Windows, and now we've moved it over to Android, and we've moved it over to iPhone. I'll have customers that will call me on their iPhone or their Android or on their iPad too, whatever it may be, and they're having a conversation on this one device. So again, we want to position ourselves in that whatever that communication device is in the future, you can run your 3CX extension on it. So employee mobility. Now, that's not just for soft phones, the soft phone client, but also for remote extensions. And then we also have CRM integration. Obviously, since we're a Microsoft-based IP PBX, we've always integrated to Exchange, and we've always integrated to Outlook. And now, recently, in the last year or so, we've actually taken that where our APIs now will integrate with Microsoft Dynamics. We have a Circuit CRM API, Sage Act, and, of course, Salesforce.com. So CRM integration. We also, if you go to our website, you'll see that we have some APIs that many of our customers will use and establish custom applications and things like that using our free APIs. Unified communications with 3CX MyPhone. And this is something that really sets us apart from our competition. what we call the 3CX MyPhone, if you will, it's a free desktop application. Now, what that means is not just that it's free, but it's going to help you manage your extension, whether you're using a desk phone or whether you're using a soft phone or whatever. You can use the 3CX MyPhone to help you manage your extension. Now, in the MyPhone, it is a Microsoft Silverlight-based platform, so it's browser-based, web-based, I should say, and we support Mac. So if you're running an Apple machine and you want to download, or I should say use the MyPhone as a browser, be more than happy to do that. Obviously, you can install the MyPhone on the desktop with desktop components, but within the MyPhone, not only is it a tool to be able to manage your extension, but we also provide you presence and chat. We have presence, so you can see who's on the phone, who's not. Caller ID, all of that information is displayed on the MyPhone. So we also have a chat capability, and so if you want to use our chat as an internal communication mechanism, the MyPhone will provide that for you. Again, this is a free desktop application. So we encourage our partners when they're installing SIP phones to make sure that you are training and informing your customer on the MyPhone, because when they see the MyPhone and the fact that they can use their mouse to transfer calls or to transfer folks into voicemail, basically just answer, use your mouse, use your MyPhone. They might not even look or use their desktop telephone. So that's what we mean by MyPhone, 3CX MyPhone. Now also we have the call center functionality built inside our software, and we have a full-blown call center with queue strategies, with things with using the MyPhone. They'll be able to listen in and whisper. There is reporting capabilities. All the things that a call center manager would like to use in a call center is built inside our software in the call center module. Now, the next slide is this, what we mean competitive pricing. If you're not a 3CX partner, I encourage you to sign up for our partner program. We'll talk about that in a moment. But typically, we'll never get beat on price. Typically, most, if not almost all the situations that I see and my partners talk to me about, when we're competing against a Cisco or an Avaya or a ShoreTel, we're just a fraction of their cost. And in our software license model, what we say, when you buy a 3CX license key, it is a one-time purchase, and more importantly, is not just that it's a one-time purchase, but there's no licensing for extensions. There's no licensing for trunks. It's unlimited extensions and unlimited trunks. And our commercial license keys start at $495. You can install what we call Mini Edition 4 simultaneous call license key on a Windows 7 professional box with a couple gig of RAM. That might support 5 to 10 extensions, your typical small business, for $495. And our licensing is based on what we call simultaneous calls. We don't license for extensions. We don't license for trunks, as I've said. We license our software by simultaneous calls, or think of it as concurrent calls or talk paths. Our entry-level license key starts with 4. We go to what we call our Small Business Edition, which is 8, which is our #1 selling license key for $795. And that Small Business Edition 8 simultaneous call license key will support anywhere of a PBX from 10 to 15 to 20 extensions. And then we have a 16, a 32, a 64, all the way up to a 512, actually 1,024. We've actually proposed 1,024 simultaneous call license key. And I would also like to say, here in the United States, we have some larger installations overseas, but we rolled out in the United States our largest customer so far in the United States, the Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Star Tribune, the newspaper. They have roughly a little over 1,000 extensions running on a Server 2008 R2, and they purchased a 256 simultaneous call license key. Under the license keys, you'll see about joining the 3CX Partner Program. Again, if you're not a partner, please check out our partner program. It's not going to cost you a dime except your time. We basically will have partners sign up that are either your traditional Microsoft partners, your IT integrators, your managed service providers, or some of the folks that have been selling the traditional or legacy TDM systems. And what they will do is they'll sign up to the 3CX Partner Program. They will, in turn, receive a free, not-for-resale license key. We'll send them a license key. That license key, we expect them to install and become comfortable and confident with our software. We also provide free technical support. So a 3CX partner will receive free technical support as well. And all of our training events are free. In fact, we have one here in Atlanta coming up, an advanced training class in Atlanta for 2 days. We're going to go to a new format, a 2-day advanced training class, and we're really going to just dig into a lot of different advanced level type topics. And then also, as a 3CX partner, you have access to the 3CX Partner Portal. So it's the Partner Portal with additional information, as well as the support portal, etc. See here if I think I might be running out of time, but I guess at this point I have a lot more to say, but I won't. Tyler, I guess I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Brian. Well, just a quick overview of our SmartNode gateways. If you weren't familiar, a gateway just basically integrates IP and TDM communications. It connects the old world of telephony to the new world of telephony. So our most common applications are going to be, SIP trunking, where you have a legacy PBX or legacy phones, and you're connecting them to your voice over IP service provider, or it's the other way around, especially in terms of this webinar. You're connecting your IP PBX to PSTN lines, whether it's just to use the PSTN lines or if you want to use them for survivability in case your network goes down. So that's what a VoIP gateway does. Our SmartNode product line, we have a full product line that offers anywhere from 1 to 32 FXS, FXO, and combinations of models, and then we have models that go anywhere from 1 to 8 ISDN BRI, and actually new models now that combine BRI with FXS, FXO. We also provide models with anywhere from 1 to 4 T1E1 PRI capabilities. All of these units go anywhere from 1 to 120 VoIP or fax call capacity, and each of our SmartNode gateways has the option for an internal IP router if you want to do QoS or VPN capabilities. We also offer models with WAN interfaces like G.SHDSL, ADSL, and then we offer an option, a license option for transcoding in case you want to transcode between VoIP protocols in and outside of your network. So why SmartNode? Well, our customers, they're definitely not quiet about why they choose SmartNode as their gateway of choice. If you talk to any of them, the first thing they'll bring up is just their quality and reliability and just our reputation in the marketplace. Time and time again, it's just because they trust our product. They know it'll work. They know that once they get it set up in their network, they don't have to worry about it. The other, main response we get, and probably our biggest differentiator, is just our customer support team. I mean, these guys are absolutely phenomenal. If you call us, you will actually have direct access to us. We'll pick up the phone. You'll talk to one of our guys around the world. And these guys, as I said, they're phenomenal. We get praise reports all the time from these guys, and everybody just loves them. And on top of all this, the biggest key differentiator is that all this customer support is completely free. So any 9 to 5 typical support is going to be completely free of charge. Now, you can get our premium support at a cost. That'll give you a VIP email account. That'll give you guaranteed response time, but typical customer support is completely free. We also have proven interoperability around the world with IP PBX, SoftSwitch, and voice over IP service providers. We also say that we offer robust enterprise feature sets and functionality. This isn't just your residential gateway. This is truly an enterprise-grade voice over IP gateway. We like to say our SmartNodes are more than just talk, as they do more than just voice functionality. They also offer internal IP router if you want to do QoS, if you want to do VPN, transcoding, anything you want. The last thing I would like to highlight is that we are truly Swiss engineered and made in the USA. Our software is developed over in Switzerland, and then all of our products are made right here in Washington, D.C., where I am. They're manufactured right here in our headquarters, so we can boast both Swiss precision and the quality that comes with being made right here in the USA. So let's get to the solutions. These are the complete turnkey IP PBX solutions that Ramon is going to highlight. These are the components of these solutions are 3CX phone system that Brian talked about with a SmartNode Voice over IP Gateway, and in some instances you might want to even purchase some SIP phones. So why this solution? What does it offer you? As Brian said, the 3CX phone system, it saves costs and increases productivity with all of its tools. But I'd say not only does it save costs and increase productivity with the 3CX phone system, but you're also using a SmartNode Gateway, you can actually save costs in connecting your 3CX phone system to your existing infrastructure. Whether that's your existing PSN line, your existing legacy phones, you want a dedicated fax line, maybe you want to connect to another office that has legacy phone equipment and you want to do free inter-office calling, or maybe you just want to set yourself up with some survivability lines and you can save yourself the cost of what happens when your network goes down. We also wanted to say that the 3CX phone solution is quick and easy to install. We do know that gateways aren't easy to configure, but with 3CX we've developed an auto-provisioning tool within 3CX where you basically just take a drop-down, pick your SmartNode, and it'll auto-provision it for you, and Ramon will go into detail on that. Both of our companies offer outstanding customer support. Your experience will be phenomenal. We have proven interoperability. We've been with 3CX pretty much since the beginning, and we've been deployed all over the world. And both of our solutions, both of our companies offer reliable solutions. So now I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Ramon Felder. He's our Executive Product Line Manager for SmartNode and also our CEO of Patent In-Out Networks. And he's going to show you where you will need such a solution and the strategies and benefits of each situation. Ramon?
Okay. Thanks a lot, Tyler, and welcome everybody from my side as well. I want to start off and underline one thing that Brian said, the ease of installation of the 3CX platform. And you've heard all about the features which are there, the rich feature set. It really is easy to install. We have many situations where we just need an IP PBX to do a demo, maybe on a trade show or a setup for a training or something like that. So if we need an IP PBX, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, just install 3CX on your laptop or whatever machine you have available, and it literally takes a couple of minutes and it's done. So that is really a great thing. Now, if we look at then real production installations, of course, there's a few more things to take in and consider. And that's what I'm going to get into with these applications. So you need to connect, of course, to the public network, to the PSN. You may have needs for survivability or fallback. You may have needs for connections of multiple offices and locations. And you probably have needs to integrate some kind of legacy equipment which is still there and still needed. So there are a lot of companies out there, and they have different needs, and they have a choice. So we want to offer a choice. You've heard from Tyler, and you will see later on that we have a broad product line to cover all these different situations. So the first one, and probably the most typical, really, if you do an IP PBX installation, is that you want to have a PSN gateway. So some way to connect your PSN line, maybe analog lines, maybe T1 lines or E1 or BRI lines, depending on where you are in the world. And you want to bring in those lines to your IP PBX installation. So that's your PSN gateway there. We have a full range there of products which offer from anywhere from 2 FXO ports up to 32 FXO ports or up to 4 T1 ports. So depending on the size of your installation and the number of clients and extensions that you have on the 3CX, you can choose the right PSN gateway product to fit in there. We'll see later that the way we work together with 3CX, and the 3CX has set up a provisioning tool for our gateways, really makes it easy for you to integrate these gateways. A great thing about separating the gateway from the PBX is also that you can run your 3CX PBX on a server anywhere in your network, maybe on a virtualized platform, and you can have your gateways separate from it. You can have multiple gateways that you can stack and create some redundancy based on that, or just give you multiple locations for breakout. So the PSN Gateway is really the most used and most typical application and use for bringing in a SmartNode gateway into a 3CX installation. But there are more scenarios. So if, of course, today you also have a choice of using, instead of a conventional PSN telephone line, you can use an internet telephone service provider. And you can trunk your 3CX PBX directly to that internet telephone service provider. So what we can offer and add in such a scenario is that you add in a SmartNode gateway, which allows you to create fallback and survivability scenarios, and also can help you in the transition from your PSTN provider to an internet telephone service provider. So in this configuration, you see that the SmartNode is actually having multiple connections to multiple networks, the 3CX PBX on one side and the PSTN and an internet telephone service provider on the other. And in order to be able to handle such an application, we have a feature-rich call routing mechanisms and call router on the SmartNode that allows you to make intelligent call routing decisions on which calls are going where and at what time. We can dynamically detect, for example, the line state or the available bandwidth and quality that you have on your internet connection, and fall back to the PSTN if you need to do so. Or you can choose to have incoming calls from the PSTN and outgoing calls to the internet telephone service provider. You can have multiple internet telephone service providers behind that IP connection, etc., etc. You may choose to route certain types of calls, so maybe local calls or international calls or data calls, etc., depending on all various numbers of criteria to the different networks. So survivability is another argument and key feature that you can bring in to a 3CX installation with our gateways. Next up there is the integration of remote offices. So, and we can extend that also actually to the integration of some legacy equipment and legacy PBXs. It may be that you have a 3CX installation on one side, maybe in a branch office or in the headquarters, and then on other sides you have still conventional PBX systems, and you want to connect them together. So again, a gateway, the gateway of choice with the right ports, the right number of channels, will allow you to do that. And this, in combination with the call routing functionalities that I already mentioned before, allows you to create additional redundancy and survivability scenarios in your network. This is also the case if you have an existing PBX on the same site, in the same location, and you may want to add just a 3CX installation in a department which is newly founded, or you want to migrate smoothly from one system to another. In each such situation, you need to have a gateway between the two systems. Good. So next up, fax, of course. So we all know fax technology has been around for a long time, and we believe that it's going to stay around for a long time, and that it's still an important tool in daily business. And that's why we have invested a lot of effort and time in perfecting our support for fax and fax over IP. And this know-how you can bring into a 3CX installation together with our gateway. So the example that we are showing here is actually one where you have, again, a PSN gateway that allows you to make your voice calls from and to the 3CX extensions to the PSN, and then on the same device you can have some additional FXS lines to connect your fax machines there, and in that case the fax would go directly through the gateway out to the PSN and bypass the 3CX system. You can also choose a different setup if you have multiple fax machines which are distributed around an office. For example, you can use dedicated fax ATAs or gateways which are connected to the LAN and the calls being routed through the 3CX PBX. Good. And then finally, last application here is the integration of legacy equipment within the 3CX system. Now, we all know these situations, and depending on the setup, you may have, for example, a hotel installation where you have some office phones where you need a rich feature set, and then you have a number of analog phones where you want to keep the cost low, or you want to reuse the phones which are already there, or you may have some special types of phones which are installed, for example, in elevators, or which are installed outdoors or in any kind of rough environment, and for which you can't just take an IP phone because it doesn't exist in that form factor or fulfill the requirements there. So in all of these cases, you will need what we call a terminal gateway. So again, a device that allows you to connect your traditional phones and convert it and integrate it with the 3CX system. For that as well, we have a full range of devices from 2 up to 32 ports of analog. And if you have some digital devices, like, for example, a PBX with a T1 trunk, we can also provide a gateway on that side of the equation and tie in all of the traffic that is coming from and to these terminals and devices to the 3CX system. Good. So there is a lot of functionality, a lot of features and flexibility, and if you really want to get to the bottom of that and exploit all of the possibilities, then I would recommend that you follow one of our certification classes that we are offering around the world, which will also introduce you to, for example, quality of service, routing, VPN functionality, all of the call routing features, etc. But we realize that if you're doing IP PBX and 3CX installations, your primary concern is with the setup of that particular system, and you just want to have this PSN gateway running. So exactly for that reason, 3CX has created these configuration pages where under PSN devices with a simple drop-down menu, you can select the pattern gateway that you have in your installation, and then with only a few clicks and maybe 5 or 10 parameters that you need to know for your particular setup, you can create the configuration and download it to the SmartNode and activate the system. So again, ease of configuration and setup is a key point for this system overall. And 3CX has just recently refurbished the website and collected all of this information, so you can find a step-by-step configuration guide online which explains you exactly how to go through that. And then if you want to do more, if you find, well, yes, it's all working, but I have this particular problem that I want to solve, or this particular network integration issue that I want to solve, Tyler already mentioned that we have a great support team which can help you out there to get into more details and really find a solution for almost any problem that you may come across. Good. So with that said, I think I'll hand over to Stephanie for a poll.
Yes, thank you, Ramon. So we have a poll that we'd like our audience to take. The poll asks, what application are you currently using this solution for, or do you plan to use this solution for in the future? Integrating PSTN trunks with 3CX phone system, survivability, dedicated fax line, remote office integration, or legacy phone integration. Please use the interface on your PC to answer these questions now, and we'll give you some time to answer them before we push out the results. To our speakers, anything that you predict that will be the prevalent answer amongst the audience?
Yeah, I can take a guess. I think the first and the last one will be the most common, with a focus on the first one. I think that's really the typical scenario. What do you think, Brian?
Ramon, absolutely. When we introduced our call center module a year ago in May, we anticipated that a lot of the call centers are going to want PSTN connections with either ISDN T1 circuits or perhaps even POS lines for the smaller ones. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, I think we've given our audience enough time. I'm going to pull up the results. And it looks like the overall consensus was 67.8% integrated the PSTN trunks with 3CX phone system, and with 4.5% saying survivability, 4.5% dedicated fax line, 6.8% remote office integration, and the remaining 16% said legacy phone integration. So Tyler, back to you.
Awesome, thank you. Well, whether you guys are here looking for your own solution or if you are here looking for a solution for your portfolio to sell, we wanted to break this down for you and make it as simple as it actually is. First, what you're going to do is you're going to pick out your 3CX phone system based on the number of simultaneous calls that you'll need to have capacity for. As Brian mentioned, it starts at 4 simultaneous calls for your mini edition, starting at $495 MSRP or 395 euro, and going all the way up to 512 simultaneous calls. Brian, do you want to make a comment on these different licenses and where you see them in the marketplace?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, our number one selling license key is the Small Business Edition. 8 simultaneous calls that retails for $7.95. And by the way, these license keys that you see displayed are without the call center module. If you go to 3cx.com, you'll see that we have license keys with call center module and license keys without call center module. So the ones you're looking at right now are without the call center module. The Small Business Edition 795, as I mentioned earlier, will support anywhere from 10 to 20 extensions for a small, medium business. I should say for a small business. We are seeing quite a few of the Enterprise 32s going out the door. That will typically support a PBX of 50 to 75 to 100 extensions. And then the 256 simultaneous call license key, where we've seen that installed is typically several hundred extension PBXs. As I mentioned earlier, the Star Tribune has a little over 1,000 registered extensions to one 3CX server. So that will kind of give you a breakdown. But the Small Business Edition 795 is our number one selling software license key.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. So step 2 then would be to pick out your patent SmartNode Gateway based off your PSTN lines, or in some cases it's maybe what you need in terms of FXS to integrate legacy phones. But the SKUs I've listed here are our most common SKUs that we sell with 3CX. As you guys saw, 70% of you guys said you were just integrating PSTN lines. So these are the 3CX preferred gateways that are in the auto provisioning tool. They're the gateways that we see going out with 3CX in most cases. So you have 2 FXO, 4FXO, that's our 4110 series, so 4112 or 4114. MSRP, those go out for $300 to $400. And then we have our 4940, 50, and 60 series. Really, it's just going to be our 4940, just gateway only, no internal router included. In most cases, we'll go out with 3CX, and that starts at a little over $1,600. Now, you'll notice this is really kind of our U.S.-based list. I'll go ahead and jump over to include kind of our worldwide audience that we have. We also have several preferred gateways in 3CX phone system that are BRI products. That's our SmartNode 4120 and our SmartNode 4630 series. So that will offer you guys anywhere from 1 BRI to 5 BRI TE. I also wanted to notice we simplified this for you guys. We offer a lot more than this. There's a ton of different models, a ton of different SKUs that are not included here. If you're talking about a hotel application where you need 32 FXS, we have that as well. You'll just have to go to our website. But we wanted to take what are the most common applications and kind of create a cheat sheet for you guys. And again, all these gateways are certified with 3CX. They're within the auto provisioning tool, and they're good to go. Step 3, or this is not even a step, but the big thing is you'll receive your 5% discount on any 3CX with Patent SmartNode bundle that you buy. And this is only through participating channels. So contact us, Patent, or 3CX, and we will connect you with a participating channel in your region. And if you're one of our channels and this is new information to you, please contact Brian or myself or Ramon or our two companies, and we'll set you up with this 5% discount that we're going to be offering from now until July 31st. It's only for a 3CX license that's bundled with a SmartNode gateway, and I will be sending this promotion code out with the follow-up email, I guess in the next 2 days, so be looking for that and contact us, and we'll connect you with the proper representative that you need to purchase from. Well, that concludes the content portion of our webinar. Before we jump to the Q&A portion, I wanted to let you know that we will, again, be sending that follow-up email in the next couple days to all registrants, whether you're here or you didn't attend. And this will include, one, a recording of this webinar if you want to look over it again or share it with somebody else. I'm also going to give you guys a cheat sheet. There's going to be an international one that includes our BRI products. There's going to be a U.S.-focused one that just simplifies it down to our 4 top-selling U.S. smart nodes. So it'll have all the 3CX licenses with the MSRP prices side by side with all the smart node gateways that we see in most applications. And then in this follow-up email, we'll also include the promo code that will get you that 5%. And maybe some other items. I think we're going to package this presentation for you into a PDF so that you guys can share it yourself with your customers. So as far as the webinar goes, that concludes the content portion. We'll go ahead and jump into the Q&A. So Stephanie?
Thanks, Tyler, and thanks to all of our presenters today. That was a great presentation. We got a lot of great questions in, but before we get to those questions, I'd like to remind our audience that you can still submit any questions via the interface on your PC now, and any that we are unable to get to, our presenters will be happy to answer those offline following our presentation today. Also, each of you, as Tyler mentioned, will be receiving a follow-up email with information on accessing the archived version of today's presentation, so you can review any of that information or pass it on to your colleagues. Let's get to some of those questions. The first question says, why would you want to connect the IP PBX to the old phone lines? Doesn't this take away from the advantage of IP calling, for example, no long-distance charges, et cetera? And this question is for Ramon.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Stephanie. I think it's a very good question. It's interesting because there are really different aspects to voice over IP and IP calling. One of them is cost saving. But that's only one of them. And we see, and a lot of our customers are doing voice over IP for cost savings. And in these cases, we are selling gateways where they can connect their legacy PBX to an IP service provider, an IP telephone service provider. However, the other aspect of voice over IP is really the features and the productivity increase. And this is where 3CX is really strong, that you can have multiple clients, you can have, mobile, you can have presence, etc. And these customers, they are interested in the features. They're interested in the CRM integration, in the Outlook integration, and they're not so much concerned about the cost of the calling. So it's really a customer's choice, and we see a lot of customers and IP PBX customers looking for the features and not so much for the cost savings, and they are more interested in a stable, reliable, high-quality PSTN line that they know, and in these cases they take a PSN Gateway.
Great, thanks, Ramon. The next question is for Brian. Brian, is it possible to integrate 3CX solution with Microsoft Lync?
We always get that question, and I was expecting it. Thank you for whoever submitted it, but no. 3CX at this point, we've taken a direction of not to interop or integrate with Lync, Microsoft Lync. With that said, however, as we see Lync obviously an enterprise or a Fortune 500 type offering, we are grateful to Microsoft because of their marketing dollars and efforts have really helped us, because as people are hearing more about a Microsoft solution, they seem to come to 3CX, and so we're grateful for their marketing efforts and what Lync has been doing in the industry, I should say in the marketplace. But no, at this point, we have no plans to integrate with Lync.
Great, thanks, Brian. What about BlackBerry?
Usually we always get the Windows mobile phone question. At this point, no. We have no plans to integrate with BlackBerry, or I should say to put our 3CX soft phone client on BlackBerry. As you know, we moved it to Android and iPhone. And we're also taking a wait-and-see for those who are Windows mobile users. The last report I saw between Microsoft and Nokia, it seems that they're not doing that well as far as gaining any market share or anything like that at this point. So right now we really want to be positioned to support Windows, Android, and iPhone.
Great. Thanks, Brian. The next question is for Tyler. Tyler, is that 5% mentioned on the patent and the license combined?
Yes, that will be 5% on the SmartNode Gateway and 5% off of the 3CX license. And again, it has to be together. It can't just be a gateway, and it can't be a license. It has to be bundled together. And you will receive that through a participating channel with a promotion code that we'll give out in 2 days, or maybe tomorrow.
Great, thanks, Tyler. Brian, the next question is for you. Someone is looking for some insight into integrating 3CX into a nursing call center. Could you provide any information on that?
Yes, I can. I'm somewhat limited. Actually, my largest customer in the United States is running in 400 hospitals all around the country. The 3CX, our software, is their SIP engine. Basically, we provide all the SIP and the connectivity within their nurse call system. So again, this particular account of ours is one of the top 2 manufacturers, I believe, in the world, but it's definitely here in the United States. And so we've been running in, like I said before, about 400 hospitals all around the country in this particular nurse call system. So we have quite a bit of experience in that area.
Great. And then another person is asking if there'll be an email sent out about the 5% discount and how it works. I know that you already touched on that, Tyler, but I don't know if you want to just clarify.
We'll be sending that in the next couple of days, tomorrow, or they can expect 2 days from now. So.
Okay, perfect. Okay, the next question asks, does the SN4950 have an SBC feature to support a SIP trunk? This is for Ramon.
Yeah, well, the SBC functionality is on the 4960 currently. If you stay tuned to our announcements, we'll soon announce the next generation of our PRI and E1 P1 gateways, where again we'll have also the SBC functionality. So right now, SBC is on the 4960, not on the 50.
Great, thanks, Ramon. Seems like we have a couple more questions to answer before the end of our presentation. This one is for Brian. Brian, is there any plan for 3CX PBX survivability, like clustering 2 servers, et cetera, similar to Cisco?
That's another good question. They're all good questions. Yes, at this point, we have several installs that are using 3CX in a Microsoft clustering environment. And what that means is that a call is not dropped. So if one server crashes, the call basically rolls over to the second server. We support the virtual machine arena, which means when I talk to someone or partner or customer, if you say that we support VMware, which we do, and hypervisor on Server 2008 R2, which we do, usually that will suffice as far as failover or redundancy, high availability, those kinds of issues, the fact that we support virtualization. But with that said, we're also going to be coming out with some new blog posts on the 3CX website. If you go to our website, 3cx.com, click on blog, and then you'll see that we've written an article on an active high availability scenario. You'll see some follow-up from Kevin and our technical support guys on that issue as well. So, yeah, that's obviously a very important, very important to 3CX.
Great. Thanks, Brian. The next question is for Ramon. Ramon, one of the audience members is asking how they can tie more than 32 FFX extensions into a 3CX session.
Okay. Yeah, so that would be by stacking multiple gateways, actually. So we offer up to 32 FXS ports in a single unit, 4932 or 4332. And if you need more than that, you can stack them up and register them individually on the 3CX. You can actually each individual FXS line can be registered as an extension on 3CX. Or if you prefer, in terms of the call routing, you can have an entire gateway register on the 3CX and then do the call routing internally on the SmartNode.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ramon. Next question asks if there's a higher density device that can connect 8 PSTN lines in a single device.
Right. So on the FXO, I guess that would be for me as well. On the FXO side, we have so 2 and 4 in one, and then 12 FXO ports, 12, 24, and 32 in a single device. Right now, we don't offer a gateway with 8 ports in the middle there, but you can have 4, or you can stack 2 times 4, and then you can jump up to 12 and more.
Okay, it seems like we have time for one last question. There's been a couple of different ones actually referring to how to become certified. Can we just clarify the steps to go about that, and if that's for patent or 3CX or both?
So I can jump in. I'll talk about it on the patent side, on the SmartNode. So there is a SmartNode certification training. It's a 3-day class, which is offered around the world. We have the schedule online. So you can sign up and register, or if you have specific requests for a course in your area, you can send the request there. And then, Brian, you can answer on the 3CX side.
Yes, we have a 3CX certification exam. Basically, it's a 20-question test. Believe it or not, a lot of folks don't get past that. But if you go to our website, there's a training link. If you click on training, you'll scroll to the bottom, and you'll see that there's a 3CX Academy. And for certification, it's just basically pass the test 75% or higher, and then you become a 3CX certified professional. And if you're working for a 3CX partner, then that partner then gains rights to become a 3CX certified partner. So you'll see a difference on our website of partners that are certified and partners that are not. But we do have a certification program.
Great. Well, thanks so much, guys. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. As I mentioned, any questions that we haven't answered will definitely be answered offline. I'd like to thank each of you for attending today's event, as well as our sponsors, Patent and 3CX, and our presenters, Ramon Felder, Tyler Dahlen, and Brian Conway. One last reminder, check your inbox tomorrow for additional information from the archived version of today's webinar. That's all the time we have. Thanks again, and have a great day.